Fact 1. The Netherlands has a squirrel bridge. One of the most interesting fun facts about humans' relationship with animals: after a few squirrel casualties, Netherlands officials built a squirrel bridge across the N44 motorway. The 2-year project cost a hefty £120,000. However, to date, only 5 squirrels have been seen using it. Fact 2. Subway footlongs don't measure a foot long. Man, talk about false advertising. A fun fact you probably don't know about this beloved sandwich joint is that Subway actually faced a 2013 lawsuit for their footlongs. The food chain explained that the Subway footlong is merely a brand name and not meant to be the actual measure of the sandwich. The case was then promptly thrown out. Fact 3. Marie Curie's belongings still have radioactive residue in present day. Marie Curie's contributions to science had her named by many as the mother of modern physics. One of the works she was most known for was her study of radioactive materials and the discovery of elements such as polonium and radium. However, her research took a toll on her health. Radioactive exposure not only led to her death due to aplastic anemia, but her clothes, furniture, and books remain radioactive to this day. Now, over a century later, her notebooks have to be stored in a lead box, as they will still be radioactive for another 1,500 years. Fact 4. The Canary Islands are named after dogs, not birds. One of the fun facts you wouldn't think about: the Canary Islands aren't named after canary birds. The location was actually named after dogs. Despite being off the coast of northwestern Africa, the archipelago is actually part of Spain. The area's Spanish name is Islas Canarias. This name roots from the Latin phrase Canariae Insulae, or island of dogs. Fact 5. The Netherlands has the tallest population. At an average height of 72.36 inch, 6.03 feet, the Netherlands is home to the tallest population on Earth. Fact 6. Indonesia has the shortest population. On the flip side, the smallest population in the world are in Indonesia. It houses the world's smallest average height at 62.2 inch, 5.2 feet. Fact 7. Tom Hanks was not paid for Forrest Gump. This may be surprising for one of his most iconic roles, but Tom Hanks did not receive a set fee for this film. Instead, he signed an agreement that entitled him to percentage points from the film's profit. Ultimately, his part in the film's earnings netted him at $40 million. Fact 8. Arnold Schwarzenegger once forgot to take off the Terminator look. During a break in filming Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger went to a restaurant in downtown LA to get lunch. However, he realized too late that he was still in Terminator makeup, missing eye, exposed jawbone, burned flesh, and all. Fact 9. The sound of the automatic doors opening on the USS Enterprise is made by a toilet. One of the fun facts about the rich world of Star Trek is the story behind the USS Enterprise's doors. The distinct sound is actually the sound of a Russian train's toilet flushing. Fact 10. Will Smith wanted to adopt the German Shepherd in I Am Legend. Will Smith grew so fond of his canine co-star, Abby, that he tried to adopt her when filming was finished. However, the dog's trainer didn't want to give her up. Fact 11. Henry Cavill's muscles are the real deal. Henry Cavill refused to take steroids for his role as Superman. He also refused digital enhancements, so the hulking physique you see in the films are all natural. He reasoned that it would have been dishonest to manipulate the Superman look. Fact 12. The Titanic film runs for as long as the ship sunk. Minus the present-day scenes and opening/ending credits, Titanic is 2 hours and 45 minutes long, which is also the time it took for the ship to sink in 1912. Additionally, the collision scene lasted 37 seconds, which is also how long the ship collided with the iceberg in real life. Fact 13. Sylvester Stallone landed in the ICU while filming Rocky. Stallone wanted to make sure the boxing scenes looked authentic in Rocky IV, so he instructed Dolph Lundgren to actually hit him. A punch to the chest landed Stallone in intensive care for 4 days. Fact 14. Brad Pitt and Edward Norton actually learned how to make soap in Fight Club. The 90s cult classic had one of its most iconic scenes when Brad Pitt and Edward Norton's characters made soap. They actually learned for real. Fact 15. Brendan Fraser almost died filming The Mummy. During a scene where his character is hanged, Fraser nearly lost his life on the set of The Mummy. According to co-star Rachel Weisz, Fraser had to be resuscitated after the botched hanging scene. Fact 16. Arnold Schwarzenegger practiced with guns every day for a month to prepare for the Terminator. To achieve the mechanical motions of the Terminator, Arnold Schwarzenegger worked with guns daily for an entire month. At the first 2 weeks of filming, he practiced stripping and reassembly while blindfolded until he was able to do it robotically and with both hands. He also practiced using different weapons without blinking or looking at them when reloading. Fact 17. Daniel Kaluuya was given the lead role on the spot after nailing his audition. According to director Jordan Peele, Kaluuya did 5 takes of a key scene where character needs to cry. Each take was so perfect that the single tear came down at the exact same time. Fact 18. Michael Fassbender had makeup artists put alcohol on his mustache for a role. For 12 years a slave, Michael Fassbender had his makeup artist apply his mustache with alcohol. His reason? He wanted to better portray an alcoholic and wanted other actors to react naturally to the smell. Fact 19. The Kingsman underwater scene was not scripted. One of the most grueling scenes in Kingsman is the underwater escape scene. The actors delivered a scene that even had you panicking. However, it's actually closer to life than you think. The flooding was a technical mishap that derailed the rehearsed flow of the scene. Director Matthew Vaughn recalls it as a horrible first day of filming. The cut was still used in the film. Fact 20. The creators of Stranger Things wanted to direct the remake. The Duffer Brothers wanted to direct the 2017 remake of it, but the film wasn't given to them because they weren't established enough. However, they ended up creating Stranger Things 2016, which co-stars Finn Wolfhard, who plays Richie in it. Fact 21. There were 25 snakes found on the Maze Runner set. The grassy plains of the first Maze Runner film definitely creates a fearful anticipation of what lies within, and for the film's cast and crew, it would have been snakes. Prior to shooting, the production team had to hire snake wranglers to clear out the area. They located a total of 25 venomous snakes, with the biggest one they found at 5 feet long. Fact 22. Crust vitamins have been used for cocaine scenes in movies. For The Wolf of Wall Street, the actors inhaled crust B vitamins in cocaine-snorting scenes. In fact, after so much inhaling, Jonah Hill contracted bronchitis and had to be hospitalized. Fact 23. Nestle supplied 1,850 bars of real chocolate for Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The 2005 Willy Wonka remake was definitely true to its namesake with the amount of chocolate used in the film. Fact 24. Hugh Jackman went 36 hours without water for Les Miserables. This caused the actor to lose water weight around his eyes and cheeks and end up looking as gaunt as a prisoner. Fact 25. Jim Caviezel was struck by lightning while playing Jesus in The Passion of the Christ. While filming the Sermon on the Mount, Caviezel and another film crew were suddenly struck by lightning. Luckily, it wasn't fatal. Fact 26. Victorians said prunes when taking pictures. Whenever we take photos, we say cheese because it makes us smile. However, smiling in photographs was once seen as a vulgar act. To keep a neutral face, they would say prunes. There was little to no chance of it forming a smile. Fact 27. The foil seals on medicine bottles were placed due to poisoning incidents. The Tylenol poisonings of 1982 was a widespread crisis that involved U.S. consumers dying or falling ill from Tylenol. It was later found that the bottles had been laced with potassium cyanide. To restore the faith of the public in the product and the company, Johnson & Johnson patented the seal to prevent further tampering incidents. This is also the thought behind the "do not accept if seal is broken" warnings that we see with other products. Fact 28. North Koreans are shorter than South Koreans. According to a researcher from Sungkyunkwan University in Seoul, North Koreans are, on average, 4 centimeters shorter than South Koreans. Factors that cause the height difference include malnourishment, economic stagnation, and lack of immigration. Fact 29. Indians read the most out of any nationality. Indians spend an average of 10 hours and 42 minutes a week reading, which is more than any other country in the world. Other countries that read the most are Thailand, China, the Philippines, and Egypt. Fact 30. A pig was once held in trial for the death of a child. During the Middle Ages, it was normal for animals to be tried for human crimes. In 1386, a pig was even arrested for injuring a child. When the child died, the pig was placed in trial, which ruled the pig's public execution. Fact 31. You could buy a town from eBay. Since eBay was founded in 1995, many unusual items have been placed on the online auction site. One of the weirdest fun facts, someone even tried to sell the country of New Zealand on eBay. Turns out, it was part of the long-known rivalry between Australia and New Zealand. An Australian jokingly posted the auction. However, the bidding was stopped once the bid reached $3,000. Fact 32. Doritos are flammable. Once the world as we know it meets its end, whether through aliens, zombies, or other causes, you can rely on Doritos for survival. These famous corn chips actually make a long-lasting fire due to hydrocarbons and oil content. The more powder flavoring, the longer the fire will last. Fact 33. Starbucks flopped in Australia. Starbucks may be a staple in many countries, but Aussies couldn't care less. Since opening dozens of locations in Australia in 2000, 70% has already closed down, leaving only 23 cafes still operating in the country. This is only one of the many fun facts about Australia. Fact 34. Glaciers make sounds. Aside from the sound of global warming, melting glaciers and icebergs emit a sound similar to fizzling soft drinks that experts have dubbed the Bergy Seltzer. It occurs when melting water frees tiny bubbles of air under enormous pressure, resulting in a sound so loud that it can be used to determine the distance of icebergs. Fact 35. The first roller coaster was invented to stop sinful behavior. When Lamarcus Thompson created the first roller coaster in Coney Island, he did it to stop the sinful lifestyle of New Yorkers. The rise of brothels in the late 1800s disgusted Thompson, who wanted to provide a family-friendly way to indulge. Fact 36. Your nails grow at the same time as continental plates drift. Tectonic plates drift about a millimeter a week, which is the same amount your nails grow. Continental plates drift because of the heat pushing its way to the surface from the core. In a year, tectonic plates end up drifting between 1 and 2 inches. Fact 37. The longest location name on the planet is 85 letters long. Tamadawakatangi Hangakoao Automatichura Pukaka Paikamar Horonuku Pokai Henua Katanatahu, New Zealand is officially has the longest place name at 85 letters long. Fact 38. The people who are currently alive are only 7% of the total number of people who have ever lived. One of the fun facts that'll make you realize how long humans have been around, according to the Population Reference Bureau, over 108 billion people have ever been born. At 7.5 billion, that's only a meager 7% of the people who have ever lived. Fact 39. Muhammad is the most popular name in the world. The most used name in the world is believed to be Muhammad, with an estimated 150 million men who share this name. This is largely in thanks to the Muslim practice of naming their firstborn sons after the Prophet. Fact 40. There are more than 24 time zones around the world. If the Earth's time zones were only 1 hour apart, then we would have 24 time zones. However, many time zones only differ by 30 to 45 minutes. This means that there must be more than 24 existing time zones.